He stands vigil, here upright, hot or cold, light or night, for he's the guardian of the lonely road, and what he guards, none shall know. Hello everyone, this is the Holy Hermit, and today we're looking at an unconventional build for Monk in Diablo 3. This build uses a two-handed weapon, not the ones you use normally in the game, not to scorn, no, rather than other weapons that are discarded quite so very often, thinking they have no use whatsoever. We start off with this video by looking at the skill setup. Crippling Wave with Breaking Wave is our primary attack. Enemies that are hit by this wave will take additional 10% damage from all attacks for the next 3 seconds, hence being our primary attack. The secondary one is Deadly Reach with Foresight, more damage increase for all attacks by 18% for 30 seconds. Inner Sanctuary with Safe Haven, our only heal-centric skill in the game. No healing again, no Serenity, no Blazing Wrath, nothing. Sweeping Wind with Cyclone. The reason for Cyclone being, we want to proc more lifesteal. This build is lifesteal centric after all. Wave of Light with Empowered Wave. Low cost for Wave of Light, but you can replace it with a different rune of your choice if you believe you can generate more spirit, that is. Mantra of Conviction with Overall. Overall will give you more damage, in turn you'll steal more life. One with Everything. Combination Strike, since you're using 2 primary attacks, will give you more DPS boost. And to round it all up, Guardian's Path to give you more spirit regeneration. Strength comes from one's undying will, and your weapon is the extension of your will. With that in mind, we look at our weapon today, something, well, most people discard. This is a polearm, a very slow attack speed. Even with the increased attack speed, it's not very good after all. It does have 6% lifesteal and some chance to stun on hit, but why is it so special? How can it actually work on such high monster powers? Well, here I am, going to show the whole thing to you. My attacks per second are only 1.49, with all the stats you've seen in my other video. Bear in mind that this build can also work with any other weapon, a two-handed weapon, which has enough lifesteal. All you need is lifesteal over 5.5 and you're good to go. Now we're going to look at monster power 6. Bear in mind this build will work for up to monster power 8. That is up to where I've tried so far. It's harder to get it to work on monster power 10. It can be done, but it's a lot more complicated and hazardous. You die a lot, I guess. But at monster power 8, as you'll see in the video, the build has a unique idea. It works all the time. It dispatches monsters quickly. Now we look at the way this build works out. The whole idea of this build is to steal life. Steal lots of it, that is. And all the builds, the skills that I've chosen, will work around it. We start off with our primary attack. We want to deal more damage. And our secondary even. So we have Crippling Wave as our primary attack. Every time I'm hitting someone, they will take more damage in the next few seconds. And you times that with Foresight, you can even gain more damage. So this number is stacking up, as in the off-sheet DPS starts to increase, which in turn helps you with the lifesteal. As I said earlier, the most integral part of this build to work is for you to have a decent amount of lifesteal. That does come from your two-handed weapon. Now next up we look at is our Sanctuary. This weapon allows you to cast an Inner Sanctuary when you're hit. That's all well and good, and that's the reason why I chose this weapon for you. It's slightly more related to Monk. This weapon speaks to Monk than it does to any other character. But if you want to discard that, the primary skill of course I'm using is, well, Safe Haven, the only healing skill that I have. When I'm surrounded by elites or there's a big mob, I'm taking too much damage, I can push them away and I'll heal myself. When the monsters run away in fear, I will kite them with Deadly Reach Foresight, hitting them from a distance, stealing more life in turn. That is how I stay alive. I have Sweeping Wind with Cyclone. The reason why I'm choosing Cyclone is because every Cyclone that deals damage to an opponent does, in fact, proc lifesteal, so you're going to gain more life every time that tornado of yours is going to hit someone. Wave of Light is your primary damage dealer. When you encounter an elite, that's the easiest way to dispatch him. Spamming this attack will help you. The spirit is of course an important issue, and therefore the reason why we chose Guardian Path is to support Wave of Light. This can be replaced with another Wave of Light rune, but I found the Empowered Wave works the best because I can push people away, it causes knockback, and not to forget the great damage it deals. After the new patch will hit, this skill will gain a lot of buff, making it even more viable later on in the game. And last of all, I have Mantra of Conviction. I want enemies to take more damage from me. Quite simply, I want them to die faster since I'm playing on higher monster powers. I thought about using Submission, but I found out after doing several tests that overall indeed is a better rune when going for a two-handed build with this kind of weapon. Now, as I said earlier, this is just Vigilance. There are other weapons out there that you can use, something like a Warmonger or even a Diablo for a monk. The only requirement for this would be to have lifesteal on it. Well, we know one good weapon that can do the job for us, and that is Scorn. But Scorns with lifesteals are very expensive. So an alternative way, of course, is to buy a different kind of weapon, like this one over here, Vigilance. This one, believe it or not, I purchased it from Auction House for just 1.2 million. It has a socket in it, of course, so the DPS is slightly high, but still, the principal idea of this weapon here is I can use Inner Sanctuary as my own skill, and every time I do get hit, there is a chance that Inner Sanctuary being casted automatically because of the weapon. So I can push people away and I have a better chance of surviving. There are other weapons out there that will do the job for you. This just speaks to Monk a lot more than the other weapons. It is a slow build, and the idea of this build is to take damage. You do take damage. You have a decent armor, of course, and decent all resist, but there are no dodging skills, are there? There is no damage reflection even. In fact, we totally rely on taking damage, but when we do take damage, we also gain life by hitting enemies. Our attack speed is not very high, but it's decent enough for us to every time proc lifesteal, and with all these skills working in tandem, lifesteal, stealing life that is quite an easy task for us. Now, you've seen me move from monster power, 6 to 7, and now I'm playing on monster power 8. The principal idea is just to show you how this build easily works with elites. You see Inner Sanctuary being casted by the weapon shown in the blue aura, and when I cast it, it's in a different aura. So, this build definitely works. It works on higher monster powers, and you see me doing it right here at the moment. As far as gameplay aesthetic goes, I see lots of people fighting over a simple silly idea of which weapon is better. They're all in the game and they're all there to serve a purpose, and they all can help you survive and even do good. Here you see me playing with a two-handed weapon, quite a decent one. As I said earlier, there's nothing special about it, just a bit of lifesteal, and if you use your skills properly, then you can do great. It's always boils down to having good skill knowledge rather than your weapons. They all come secondary. You have all these skills that can work in different ways, you just need to know the right combination. I hope you like this video of mine. This is a new build I've been trying to play with, and it works for me. Give it a go, see if you like it or not. Let me know your opinions and thoughts. I'm most interested to hear about them. This is the Holy Hermit for you. I hope you all have a nice day ahead. Thanks ever so much for listening. I'm out now. Bye.